Hello， 大家好 ，L 嚟到 For Mac 嗱。講到 iOS 14.7咧，咁啊即刻睇下 Solo 係講乜嘢啦。咁啊，首先咧就係個 build number， 咁啊等佢 update 完之後咧，會解釋。
Aaron here for Zolotech, and today Apple released iOS 14.7 to the public. This is available to all iOS 14 supported
devices嘅 device 都有。
and iPhone 6S or 6S Plus and newer, you'll be able to install this update. And this is available right now everywhere around the world.
全世界包括全球。
You can go to your settings, go down to General, then go to Software Update, and you should see it there. If you're still not seeing it, go into Automatic Updates, turn it off, and then check again. Then you should see the update and be able to install it. Now, this particular update came in at a very large 4.58 gigabytes, depending on the device.
咁啊，一部機可能隨時都要4.58 gigabytes of 個 download 啦。depend 你用緊邊部機，可能細啲嘅。如果你有舊 version 由 iOS， 例如 iOS 14.5 14.5 咧，比較大 download。如果係 download 係 iOS 14.6 咧，就會比較 depending on 邊度放。
Now, if you have iOS 14.7 RC,
14.7 RC 或者 beta tester 咧會有新標，所以你要 download update 嘅。
And that's sometimes typical, sometimes not, but there should be a new build for you as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the build number and talk about what's new. Now I'm running iOS 14.7 on my iPhone 12 Pro Max. I also have it installed on the iPhone XR and iPhone 7. Now along with this, Apple also released some other software, but so far they have not released iPadOS.
未出14.7，只係
release candidate to developers and beta testers. We haven't seen.
咁而家就暫時一部咁啊，而家 iOS 14.7咧，當時因為未出嘅，有原因。只係俾啲 beta testers 同埋嗰啲人去做嘅啫，而家得㗎啦。可能有 bug 啦，可能出咗 watchOS 7.6、tvOS 14.7，同埋 HomePod OS 14.7，同埋 iOS Big Sur 11.5。RC Recalculators developers。
However, iPadOS not being released the same day as iPhone or iOS doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We haven't seen that before, and they're also calling it a little bit different name. iOS 14.7 FCS,
Final Candidate Software.
That naming before. Maybe this will be the last version of iOS 14.
呢個最後一個。呢個可能係最後一個 iOS 14㗎啦，之後咧就應該係 iOS 15啦嚟緊。咁呢個一陣間咧，我會 show 俾大家睇㗎，就係個 build number， 就係嗱講另外 build number 俾大家知係18G69，呢個係最新嘅一個新嘅 one digit 一個 digit 嘅 build number 嚟嘅，一個 digit 嘅 build number。咁我一陣間會詳細解釋，等我哋等部 iPad update 完，我哋就繼續講。咁點解有原因咧？就係講到個點解部 iPad 點解會冇得 update 14.7咧？就係因為基於咧近排 iPad 就有個 bug 咁啊，唔係同 Apple 即係 iOS update 咧唔夾啊，就同呢個即係你部 iPhone 係14.7，但你仲係部 iPad 用嘅14.6，但問題就係你係咪個 iPad 有 bug？咁而家 download 緊俾佢時間 load 啦。如果你由14.5 download 咧，係隨時都要大成唔知4點幾 G 或者5 G 到啦，視乎你用緊邊個機。咁如果你14.6咧，就應該唔使咁大 G 嘅幣數 RAM 嘅 G 嘅幣嘅。所以而家咧等佢 load 陣先，load 完話俾大家聽有幾好用。There we go， 好 ，there we go， 即刻做咗有嘢先。好，呢度咧就係今年嗰個。呢度就係今年嗰個呢度就係嗰個 iPadOS 啊。咁首先撳入去先，預見更新係啦，應該係14.7冇錯。好，然後咧就睇半部機，咁啊應該收到咧佢個Apple 嗰個 build number。build number 咧就係18G69冇錯。嗰個係新個 digital newer 啦。好，繼續播片先，等回目喺度 ，there we go。
And this particular build number is 1 digit newer than the last one that was released to developers in beta testing. So they must have found a last-minute bug they needed to fix. And because of that, I'll be mentioning what's new in iPadOS 14.7 as well in this video, since this is just going to be a small last-minute change and should not affect the updates overall. Now, as far as the first thing that's been updated is the modem.
係個 modem update。如果你14.6嘅話咧，有啲 modem update 嘅就舊嘅 iPhone 12或之前嗰啲。如果你 iOS 14.7咧，個 candidate 冇得 update 嘅，只係個 extract same 嘅。
Now, the first change or overall feature add is support for a brand new MagSafe battery pack for the iPhone 12 series. Apple announced this, and it requires this update in order to function properly.
咁有一樣嘢咧，就喺 Apple 咧而家出嘅咧就係一個叫做 MagSafe。Apple 嘅 MagSafe 呢個 MagSafe 咧就而家應該有得賣嘅MagSafe 等啊 MagSafe iPhone 12係啦，就係呢個 MagSafe 等呢個 iPhone 畫面嚟嘅。等一陣啊，我縮細佢先。配件係啦 ，MagSafe 呢個叫做MagSafe Battery Pack 嚟嘅，有個。呢個外接式電池，呢個新出嘅，咁啊免費嘅啫，咁啊唔講知749蚊一嚿嘢啦，插落去部iPhone 12度嘅，呢個外接式電池，咁有啲人都開始買啦，係咁噶。好，繼續睇。
So you'll see it's a little MagSafe battery pack. It's $99 and just magnetically adheres to the back of the iPhone. In order to charge it, you plug in your lightning cable.
駁條 lightning cable 之後咧，跟住 check 個 battery pack 嗰度。
That is added with support with iOS 14.7.
而家 support 14.7。
Reverse wireless charging for anything else but just the battery. So that's the first.
呢個第一個 update。
The next thing has to be
第二個 update 咧就係個 Apple Card Family。如果你有 Wallet app。有個 Apple Card Family。
But there's a new feature within Apple Card Family that Apple talked about quite a while ago that is finally added with iOS 14.7.
而家加咗落去 iOS 14.7咧就係有個 Combine Credit， 就如果你有 own account 用係用existing Apple Card user， 即係如果你有 Apple Card 先至可以有呢啲嘅 build credit 落去嘅，即係你俾信用卡落去 Apple 嘅信用卡。所以呢個信用卡。另外咧就係個 HomePod。So
if you have a HomePod or HomePod Mini, go into the Home app, press and hold on your HomePod. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that we now have the option to set timers. Before
嗱，另一個咧就係HomePod 啦。HomePod 呢樣嘢好特別嘅，今次呢個 update 就可以撳入去之後咧，然後撳家居。如果你有 HomePod 或者 HomePod Mini 咧就好啲嘅。咁你一撳 hold 實個 HomePod 或者 HomePod Mini， 一撳嗱，而家你見到我而家播緊片啦，應該我唔知嘅。嗱，我即上都播緊片嘅。嗱呢度下邊有鬧鐘啦 ，basic 有嘅。而家多咗個就係新增呢個計時器。咁你可以撳新增計時器。假設而家我哋俾佢，而家就。頭先呢佢收到個計時，咁有一樣嘢就係佢有呢個計時器。呢個特徵咧就係咁，呢個係特徵嚟嘅，計時器加計時器落去。你可以 set 計時器嘅啦，而家。如果有天氣嘅 app 咧，即係。有呢個 air quality 嘅，有啲地區有嘅，即係個空氣質素啊。即係如果你有 weather app 就好啲嘅。
France, Italy, Netherlands, South Korea, and Spain. Prior to this, it was not available. Mini, go into the home app.
撳實個 HomePod 或者 HomePod Mini，然後你由呢度就可以加呢條計時器落去啦。另外係啦，另外咧就加喺14.7嘅個 Weather App 度。嗱 ，Weather App 入邊咧就加咗呢個叫做空氣質素，有啲地區係睇唔到㗎，講定俾你聽，呢啲地區睇唔到。咁你可以 scroll down 度睇下，香港唔知有冇睇到空氣質素嘅 air quality。另外有啲地區係加咗啦，喺加拿大啦、法國、意大利、荷蘭、南韓同西班牙係有係收到呢啲air quality 嘅 display， 即係呢個俗稱嘅 PM2.5啦，即係呢個空氣質素嘅，而且有呢啲地方係睇唔到嘅。另外 podcast 就可以撳落去，然後撳 library， 撳 show， 你就可以咧睇到你有咩嘢 follow 緊，或者你仲係 follow 緊啊。而家你可以即刻 tap 落去咧，可以收聽 podcast 啦。假設我而家咧就入個 podcast app 度先 ，there we go 入去先，然後撳資料庫。咁跟住咧，我就例如我播假設我播呢個咁我假設播時政新聞啦，咁我跟住播啦。今日咁我隨時可以即刻收聽呢個 podcast 噶啦。另外咧，呢度咧可以即係可以選隻嘅，有啲種其實喺度全部或手動嗰啲嘢，瀏覽都係嘅。咁樣睇翻嗰邊啦。
We can switch between those two.
Whoops， 撳錯掣，撳翻入去個 YouTube 片先。
Those different views now. They've also updated a few different changes throughout the OS, just different menu options and more. So there's small changes throughout with refinements, but the major change has to do with library and followed or followed and all. Now in iPadOS 14.7, there are no other changes.
暫時14.7未出住嘅，但係其實而家都一樣嘅啫。
See any other significant changes on the iPad? Just the same things.
其實都係一樣嘅啫，都係 Podcast App 一樣嘅啫，喺14.7。一樣嘅啫。另外咧就係一個 issue 喺度。另外咧就係呢個 Apple Music 啦，一撳 Music 之後，撳 Library Playlist， 咁啊，假設咧例如佢有咁啊，跟住咧就係個 Apple Music 啦。Apple Music 方面咧，撳下 Apple Music 音樂，sorry 啊，開始啦。咁首先咧就係撳翻去資料庫度 ，Playlist 嗰度 ，Playlist。
All of the same changes are there. Now, as far as resolved issues, there's quite a few of those in iOS 14.7, and the first one has to do with music. So if we go
Apple Music 撳去佢之後咧，資料庫 Playlist
here, maybe we'll go to recent faves.
咁跟住有個三粒掣嘅喺飛嗰度喺嗰上面。咁啊，例如咧我就喺資料庫度撳啦，即係喺嗰個入面啦，跟住撳資料庫。可能 playlist 度啦 ，playlist 資料庫度。咁啊，假設我撳例如我假設我撳呢首啦，例如 K10啦，呢個 album 入邊。嗱，咁樣咁啊。
To recent faves and tap the three buttons in the upper right for the
撳三個掣。
See that we have the option to share a playlist.
就跟住撳呢三粒點，呢度咧就可以咧分享專輯，另外都可以分享一啲嘢嘅，即係可能喜愛啊。咁樣我咪嗰啲3C 之類建議咁樣 update 嘅，你可以 share 嗰個。有啲嘢就有陣時唔見嘅，我 share playlist 嘅。fix 咗個 issue 喺多啲全景聲啦 ，Apple Music Loudness 啦。可能你假設你用AirPods 部聽緊歌。 聽緊歌嘅，咁跟住你又停咗15秒，可能呢個就而家呢個就解決咗喺14.7。另外咧就有人咧就 relate to 多即係杜比啦、Atmos 啦同埋 Apple Music。有啲人話咧就有啲人喺印度話咧喺 Apple Atmos 睇 Apple Music，Loudness 咧係最勁嘅 ，Wondering 咧係 rolling out 咁滯嘅。咁有啲人就話咧有啲咁嘅 set 到咁嘅 specific fix 喺 iPhone 11方面咧，就係佢咧有個叫做 New Battery Calibration Tool 喺14.6同14.7，即係 iPhone 11就有呢啲嘅功能。如果你個電咧就有 issue 嘅話咧，要 replace 嘅話咧，佢個 battery surface measures 咧就要they have been experienced or reported。就係statistic 就一定係 iPhone 11嗰啲 models 啊，11 Pro、11 Pro Max 咧啲 models 咧可以叫你咧翻去咧換電或者嗰啲 service 嘅。咁嗰啲咧就會即刻帶走佢啦，要叫你幾時要換電。另外，如果要咁嘅話，都要呢個 peak capability。So 呢個 fix 咗呢個 update 到嘅。另外就係亦都解決咗啲 accessibility 同埋 brightly 嘅 displays。咁 Apple 都話咗啦，呢啲 brightly displays 可以收到啲 information 啦，喺 compose message 係解決咗喺14.7度嘅。另外亦都 fix 咗一啲，與此同時咧就 fix 咗喺 USB-C to 3.5嘅 headphone jack 嘅 headphone jack。咁如果你可能有新嘅 iPad Air 或者 iPad Pro 嘅朋友咧，咁 block 佢嘅時候咧，你就要用 headphone 嘅 jack 嘅。咁 maybe 咧你就可能會有個 wire headphone jack。Audio 咧可以 skip 咗用你 adapter 或者用你啲 adapter 用 USB-C 做3.5嘅 millimeter， 所以可以解決喺 iOS 14.7同埋 iPadOS 14.7。咁跟住另一個咧就係你未講嘅就係咧就係嗰個有一個odd characters 啊，即係個 percentage with sign 一個 WiFi。夾 WiFi 之後咧，你就可能要收到啲咩 network 可以去 show up 到。另外咁有啲 percent signs 嘅，我一撳咧。咁等佢別駁嘅，咁你可以駁個 network 就得。例如假設Solo 踢嗰個問題咁樣，即係你 Solo 個運 WiFi 之後咧，就先知道佢駁到幾耐。咁我假設駁 Apple Net 啦，我唔駁啦，我駁翻去Obi 啦。好。翻嚟繼續播翻隻片。
Give it just a moment. And even if your devices were around this particular network name, it could cause an issue. So now we can go to different websites and it should work properly. Go into Apple, you'll see it's working properly in this update.
It can
cause your Wi-Fi network to no longer even activate. So if we go into settings on this iPad, which is on an older version, and go to network, it will not allow me to turn it on. The only way to fix this is to completely go into your settings, go to general, reset, and reset your network settings.
Reset network settings.
So this has been resolved in iOS 14.7. They fixed that known Wi-Fi bug, so it's great to see that. Now this update also includes a bunch of security updates.
Security update 都有。
So if you want to see those, I'll link it in the description. But it's their
大家可以睇過呢個
Apple
網度睇睇啊 ，Apple.com 咧係最新嘅 security update 啊。咁之後咧，我會講下 macOS 10.10。
Now, as far as overall performance and battery life, well, first of all, performance seems to be okay. On the iPhone 7, it seems to be working great. And throughout the betas that I've talked about in the past videos, many people have said that performance has increased significantly on older devices, whether that be an iPhone 7 like I have here, or an iPhone 10
iPhone
or
10
10R.
10R.
Now, as far as iPadOS, the only place I've seen it where it's a little bit slow is on the iPad.
最慢咧就係 iPad Air.
So going through different applications or going into music, sometimes it will be a little bit slow. Sometimes it's a little bit choppy when you're scrolling. And right now it's working okay, but there is a little bit of stutter. So it's not worse than iOS 14.6 or iPadOS 14.6, but it does have a little bit of slowness overall. And isn't an improvement over that version. However, most people say that it's working great. As far as overall battery life, for most people than iOS 14.6. However, it could take a few days for things to finish processing in the background for you to see that sort of update. So give it a few days for battery to improve, but I'll show you one from Cameron who sent these in, and thanks for sending these along. You can see that he got as high as 12 hours and 53 minutes of screen on time, 1 hour and 31 minutes of screen off time. I covered this in my update, but as you can see, let's go to the next one. He got 4 hours and 10 minutes of screen on time and 2 hours and 16 minutes of screen off time, and used about 50% of his battery. Now, this is on an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and he's getting 8 to 12 hours of screen on time depending on overall use. You can see he used messages and Twitter a lot and some other apps as well. So in general, it's doing pretty well. Most people say it's much better than iOS 14.6.
係好過10.6嘅有啲人話
overall. And that leads me to, should you install iOS 14.7?
咁呢個問題就係啦，
Well, if you're
你
on
會 download
14.6
14.6
earlier, I would
定
say
唔 download
absolutely. This includes important
14.7
security
download
updates
定
and
download
is really a
14.6
refinement of what
咁最好
iOS
梗係
14
download 個
has
啦，
done
係咪？
all
我
along.
recommend 你。
Last year, when we got to iOS 13.7, we saw a huge improvement overall to performance, to battery life, and just general stability. And this seems to have those improvements just like last year. There are some things that are not fixed, such as green tint. Some people have seen improvements in it overall, but for the most part, there's no specific improvements to green tint that they've mentioned, so we'll have to wait for a future update for that. And it took Apple last year into mid to late August to release an update to fix it on the iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 11 Pro Max. So I wouldn't really expect this to fix it for you, although people are saying it has improved over time. It is not fixed specifically in this update, at least they don't mention it. Now, as far as those running iOS 15 betas and wanting to know when iOS 15 beta 4 will come out, I would expect that as soon as maybe another week or so. So probably on Wednesday the 28th of July,
7月28號啦，會 update 新嘢。
release it in a 2-week cycle. Every couple of weeks, they'll release updates until we get to August. We'll see a week-to-week schedule with a final release sometime in mid to late September. So that's
預計9月啦，都可能最遲 update 嗰個14 iOS 14同埋 iOS 15啦。
The release of iOS 15 is always something that Apple does seem to do, but we'll have to wait and see if they release those updates as well. However, don't expect any changes or any major physical updates with iOS 14 updates in the future. Usually they focus on stability and security. Now, as far as the major changes, that will be with iOS 15 when they launch that, usually around the time of iPhone 13 or iPhone 12s, whatever Apple decides to call that. So with the next iPhone, you should see that release just a little bit before the next iPhone release. So we see the next iOS update, then the iPhone that comes with that pre-installed. So I'm looking forward to all of those things coming very, very soon, just a couple of months away at this point. So that's it for iOS 14.7. It's nice to see Apple continue. 會繼續 refine 14.iPhone 14啦，可能嚟緊有啲幾多 beta。
咁啊，得先 for iOS 14.7啦，條片咧就到呢度噶啦。咁大家睇完咧，記得 like、subscribe， 留意住最新片段。As always 講到咧，咁我繼續可能 keep 住大家睇下呢個 iOS 14啦，同埋 iOS 15嘅 update 啦。留意住下一條片。As always 多謝大家收睇，我係 Aaron，下日再見。